Has God ever asked you to give up something that you just couldn't live without? Your dream, your need for closure, your plan B, your Netflix subscription? Okay, well, maybe that one's borderline. And you're over here like, what's going on, God? I thought we were friends. There is a story in Genesis chapter 22 where God is not just asking for a thing, He is asking for a person. Stay with me. This is a story of Abraham and Isaac on Mount Moriah. If you know it, you know it's intense. And if you don't know it, then just buckle up. Let me set the scene. Abraham, this is the guy who has messed up repeatedly. He's lied about his wife twice to save his own skin. He laughed at God's promise. He's not really a superhero, but God makes him a promise. Through your son Isaac, you're going to become the father of nations. Isaac is everything. He's the miracle baby. He is the promise made flesh. And then God asks for him back. Have you ever had God test your faith like that? Right after you thought you were in the clear. That's where Abraham was when we get to Genesis 22. Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah and offer him as a burnt offering. God is asking Abraham to kill his son. Not just any son, the son of promise, the one he waited 25 years for, the miracle child. And this is what stops me in my tracks. Verse 3 says, early the next morning, Abraham got up. He doesn't argue, he doesn't negotiate, he doesn't wait to see if he heard God right. He just gets up while it's still dark, he wakes up Isaac, he gathers the servants, and then, this detail haunts me, he begins chopping wood. Check this out, with his own two hands, he is preparing the very instrument of his son's death. Every swing of the axe is a choice. Every bundle tied is another step of obedience. They travel from Beersheba to Moriah. That's 50 miles, 3 days on foot. This is not a split-second decision. There are 3 days of silence, 3 days of wondering. Did I hear God right? Is there another way? And here's the thing. Isaac knows something's up. He's not a little kid. In fact, Jewish tradition says he may have been as old as 37. He's been to sacrifices. He knows what's missing, the lamb. But he doesn't run. He trusts his father, and he trusts his father's God. On the third day, they see the mountain. Abraham takes the wood and he puts it on Isaac's back. So here Isaac is, carrying the wood for his own sacrifice, walking up the mountain with his father. They don't know it yet, but they're acting out a scene that's going to define history 2,000 years later. They reach the top. Abraham builds the altar, stone by stone. Isaac's helping him, and then Abraham pulls out the rope. Isaac finally understands. He's the lamb. The text doesn't give us any struggle. Isaac's strong. He's capable. He's fully able to overpower his elderly dad. But he lies down on the altar and he lets his father bind him. Why? Because he trusts the same God that Abraham trusts. Verse 10 tells us, then he reached out his hand and he took the knife to slay his son. The knife is raised. The promise is about to die. And then, Abraham, y'all like my angel voice, do not lay a hand on the boy. Now I know that you fear God because you have not withheld your son, your only son. The test is over. All right, now it's shouting time because verse 13, Abraham looked over and there in the thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. Not by its fleece, but by its horns. That detail matters. Caught by the horns means it's not the body. That means that the ram was unblemished, perfect for sacrifice. And here's the crazy part. Those thorns will later be identified as Christ thorns. They're the same plant woven into Jesus' crowns. See, God's provision was already waiting. While Abraham was on his 3-day nightmare, the substitute was on its way on the other side of the mountain. Abraham sacrifices the ram instead of his son, and Isaac lives. Abraham names the place Yahweh Jireh, or as we would say, Jehovah Jireh, which means the Lord will provide. But notice, it's still future tense. Why? Because Abraham prophesied, God will provide the lamb. And God sent a ram. But this is what Abraham didn't know yet. Fast forward 2,000 years and that shadow becomes substance. Jesus is arguing with religious leaders. He says this in John 8:56, your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day. He saw it and was glad. He saw it on that mountain. When Abraham saw the ram and the thorns, he saw a preview of the gospel. Because it's the same mountain. 2 Chronicles 3:1 tells us that the temple was built on Mount Moriah, the same ridge system as Golgotha. Isaac carried the wood up the mountain. Jesus carried the cross up the mountain. Isaac was bound willingly. Jesus was bound willingly. Abraham's hand was stopped. The Father's hand wasn't. Romans 8:32. He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also, along with him, graciously give us all things? The ram saved Isaac for a day. The lamb saved the world forever. So here's the question. What's your Isaac? What's that thing that you're clutching right now? The thing that you'll say, God, anything but that. Maybe it's your kid's future. Maybe it's your financial security. Maybe it's your health, your reputation, that dream that you built your identity on. God doesn't want to just take it from you. He wants you to know, do you love the gift or do you love the giver? Abraham couldn't see the ram until he surrendered. The provision is always on the other side of the surrender. Whatever you're holding, God already has a ram in the thicket. You can't see it yet, but it's waiting. I asked you, why would God ask for the thing that needs the most? Maybe because he wants to show you that he has already provided something better. Because the same God who provided the ram for Abraham and the lamb for the world has already prepared the provision for you. If this resonated with you, I would love it if you share it with someone that needs to hear it. Come back next week. We're going to get into the book of Acts, Acts 15, the Jerusalem Council. You're not going to want to miss it. Until then, God bless you.